Hey, welcome to the Popcorn Perspective. It's Jay and AK. Today we're gonna go over our picks for X-Men, the live action that Marvel is gonna start up. So, AK, where are we starting off?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like if we're going to start anything off when it comes to the X Men casting, we had to start with Professor X himself. Who do you have fan casted, or who do you wish to portray Professor X and why?
Okay, so Professor X was really tough, and the reason I found that the hardest is I didn't know what direction Marvel is gonna go. Are they gonna go more first class where they're a bit younger, or are they gonna go like OG X-Men movies where they're older, like Magneto and Xavier, they're all older. I think they're gonna go younger because they want it to last a bit longer.
Mhm.
So I try to keep my list under the age of 60, and the person who just like stuck out to me was Jude Law. So Jude Law, I've loved him as an actor, but I really loved him in Fantastic Beasts. Only part of the movie I actually liked was where he portrayed Dumbledore, and he did such a good job. It's like calm but intimidating, and like you always felt he was in control and knew what he was doing. So that's my pick. Jude Law as Professor X just seems perfect for me.
I like that, but the only issue I have with Jude Law though is I don't. I feel like he doesn't have that because that's the only issue I have with him as Dumbledore. I feel like he didn't have that leadership like quality that you needed for like a leader, like Professor X or Dumbledore character. I feel like he's a great like side character, like a supporting character. I've never really seen him as a main cast member, like the main character, and actually be able to own his own. So I feel like he'd be great as like a supporting cast member, maybe like a senator or like a side character within the X Men universe that can help push the X Men up. Maybe he could be a mutant working underneath Professor X or something like that. But I don't know. Personally, I think Mark Strong. That's who I have as Professor X. I think Mark Strong, he has that intensity, he has that, but he also has that kindness that you need for X. Like he can nurture, but he also will fuck shit up if he needs to.
I like the Mark Strong pick. As you mentioned, he's already bald, so that's pretty good. um, I see what you're saying with Jude Law, though I don't consider Professor X the main character. Uh,
Hmm.
I
Who,
think
who
he
would
is
you
more of
consider
a
the main
side character.
character? Really?
I think it's the actual team, right? Like all the
Okay, so you think the
characters who are
team as a
actually going.
whole?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the main character.
So you think all
Uh,
the characters within the team are side characters that builds into
right.
the? Okay, okay, I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
okay.
each one has their own specialty in a sense.
No, that makes sense. No, I like that. I like that. I mean, I feel like either one of them you really can't go wrong with, but I think Magneto. I think that is kind of be like the core of the X Men. Like, you need a good grounded villain who you also just don't want to kill off in the first movie. So you want something a character that can go on 4, 5, 6 movies straight and still be an antagonistic character who also is slightly a protagonist at times. Who would you pick for Magneto?
All right, so mine is a little bit outside of the box, and I went with Alexander Skarsgård. So that guy is such a fantastic actor. He played a character in The Northman, and he was just brilliant.
Oh, he was great.
Uh, and then there is actually a show where he plays a villain called The Stand, and there's a character in there that he plays, Randall Flagg. So he's charismatic but also psychotic at the same
Hmm.
time.
I haven't
And
seen
why I
that.
like that is I think if they go more political, they could have Magneto as this enigmatic character that's just like gaining followers, gaining people who support him, and who's just psycho at the end of the day. And I just love that. So I think he could portray that really well.
See, the only issue I have, and I think that's a pretty good pick. I feel like Alexander Skarsgård, especially since he's so built and he's so ripped, I feel like he'd be better playing like an actual like a guy who'd go out in the field and get dirty. Because I feel like Magneto is kind of like the chess master. He plays the field, but he doesn't actually present himself on the field unless he's needed. He's kind of like playing the background. That's the only reason. Like I feel like you're kind of wasting a guy with Alexander Skarsgård in his body. I'm just saying. If anything, he'd be great as someone who'd be like who be getting ripped and like getting in there shredding people to pieces. But I mean, Like you are right though, he is very charismatic. So I feel like the charismatic part of him can easily lead a group of mutants against humans. So I think he'll be pretty cool.
All right, cool, dude. So, what about you? Who do you think should be Magneto?
Yeah, I actually have Giancarlo Esposito for Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. I think he's a fantastic actor. I think everything I've seen of him, he always owns the screen, and he has such an intense, calculating physique about him. Now, I do know that the original Magneto in the comics and the movies prior to, he is a Holocaust survivor. But due to the time frame, if they're going to bring them into 24, whatever time frame the MCU is in currently, when the X Men join up, I do think having a World War II survivor, they'll be around 100 plus years old at this point, and that's the only like hesitation of casting someone very very old. It's you really can't have that leadership quality, so you feel like you're gonna have to change his backstory up slightly to modernize him so the age can make sense. So I think maybe having him like a civil rights somebody who was attacked or discriminated against in the civil rights movement, and he ends up being like a Black Panther member who was something along those lines, and you can change it up where he saw the worst of humanity when it comes to the civil rights and how the people just trashed his people, and he just wants to represent his people, but he has a very radical, very violent or angry way, and I think that's a good way to ground the character in a more like modern sense. And I think he could own it. Giannis Esposito, he's a great actor. He's very charismatic, and he just demands respect when he's on screen.
Yeah, dude, that's a good pick. He plays such a good villain,
Yeah.
Breaking Bad, and then even in The Mandalorian. So
Oh
he's
yes,
an
yes, he was
excellent pick.
brilliant.
Who do you have for Cyclops? This one was tough for me.
Yeah, Cyclops is really tough because you need like a Boy Scouts character. You need someone who has like a pretty face, who wants to be a leader, but like unfortunately not many people respect just because he's a Boy Scout. He's a very by the books character, and I think Jacob Elordi would be a great pick. I'll be honest, I haven't really seen much of him. The only few times I've ever seen him in a movie was unfortunately walking downstairs watching my younger sister watch those Netflix dramas. I think like Kissing Booth is one of them. I mean, it's a very very boring movie, but I feel like he just has that like that. I'm a good looking guy. I'm a pretty boy, but I'm gonna also do things by the book, and
Mhm.
I have no trouble in life type character. And I feel like he can own that. And I mean, I never really cared for Cyclops until I watched the X Men '97 TV show. So I feel like he's not a forgettable face, and he's not a forgettable person, but he's also just kind of there. So, I'm not trying to be mean to the character of Cyclops, but I think he'll be great.
So I don't actually know who that is, and your
Okay.
glowing remarks over him gives me a little bit more confidence in who I'm gonna pick.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so I picked Taron Egerton. So I really liked him in Kingsman, and
Yes.
I like that whole pretty boy, calm but fun, and I think he can really bring that into Cyclops. They don't have to make him like this stereotypical serious dude. Like they can have fun with him, and I hope that's the direction they go with. So that's why I picked
No,
Taron
no, I
Egerton.
think you can't go wrong with Edgerton. He's such a great
Yeah.
actor, and I love him. Anything he's in, I enjoyed. So he's a great pick as well. But I think Wolverine's also something that we need to talk about. I know you and I talked about this off screen, but why don't you explain who do you think Wolverine would be casted as?
Okay, so in my list, I actually don't have Wolverine. And the reason I
Hmm.
don't is I think Marvel is still going to continue with Hugh Jackman for a little bit before they hand it off to someone else. I think he's such a big IP, and if Wolverine has a good time with Deadpool, I don't see why they would want to break that up. That's my reasoning on why they might want to keep
Hmm.
Wolverine as the main Wolverine for now.
See, the only issue I have with Hugh Jackman is age, and you're trying to keep the age down some. Now, I do know he's a never aging character for the most part, or he ages slowly. But I feel like at this point, I think if anything, he might make a appearance as like a alternate universe X Men or Wolverine. But I feel like if you're going to recast, I think you have to do a straight recast and have nobody as the same. That's personally what I would do. Uh, I think Danny Radcliffe. That's who my pick is. He has the height. He's not the tallest. He's a 5'6" height. Great actor. He loves doing roles outside of his comfort zone. I'm not sure if you've seen some of his newer movies like Weird Al Yankovic and all that. Movies I would never expect to see Danny Radcliffe play, and he nails it. He has the body. He's muscular as hell now. Have you seen him recently? I think with the height, with his build, and the fact that he likes going outside his comfort zone, I think he could nail it as like a grittier Danny. I want to see Danny Radcliffe in a grittier role, and I think he would nail it.
That is such a good pick. Yeah, if I didn't think that we're going to keep up with
Hmm.
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Dan Radcliffe would definitely be it. He's trying to do so much new stuff. He's breaking away from that Harry Potter vibe of what he had when he was younger,
And
and
he's doing a great
he's
job
doing an
at it.
excellent job. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that pick.
Um, the one thing about Hugh Jackman, though, did you hear about that the news that Kevin Feige apparently told Hugh Jackman don't come back for Deadpool Wolverine? Because apparently Kevin Feige didn't want to tarnish the reputation of Logan, the last movie.
I'm not gonna
But
take too much weight in any of those
yeah,
articles
no,
because it
no,
could have just been like, "Hey, you had Logan, it did so well. Why do you want to come back?" Kind of like that. Now that
no,
he's
and I
gonna
definitely
make him $1 billion, I don't think he'll care.
exactly. I think money talks at the end of the day. But I mean, I would love to see Hugh Jackman play it until I'm dead. But the odds of that happening, unfortunately, is it's on the slimmer side, I would say. But who would you have next? I do love your next pick.
All right, cool. So Jean Grey was tough for me. I've she's never been one of my most favorite characters in X Men,
Hmm.
but I don't think the portrayal of her has been good in a lot of the live action. So, anyways, rounding that off, I picked Erin Moriarty, and she's from The Boys. And I
Hmm.
haven't seen The Boys completely, but I've seen clips of her, and I think she's a talented actress, and she could do a good job with it.
No, you're right. She's. I've seen the boys. I've seen every season up to date, and she definitely in the first couple of episodes or so she wasn't the strongest of characters, but she has literally stolen half the show. I feel like she has proven to be such a powerful actress in her own right, and I do think like if she ever like gets to Phoenix Force, I think she can nail it. I do like that pick a lot. Um, I have Sadie Sink. Just because Jean Grey and Cyclops they are a thing always, you're not going to separate those two ever, and they're roughly the same age. I think it's like a 5 year gap. So I mean that's definitely playable. She is a natural redhead. She's brilliant in Stranger Things. Um, just because of that, I think should be great. Because personally, I think if you're going to pick Jean Grey, you have to pick like natural redhead. Um, at least that's my mindset because they've never done so yet. I mean, I think is Sophie Turner was she naturally redhead since the
No idea.
start? Okay, I'm not sure, but regardless, I think having a natural redhead to fit the character mold would be cool. And I think she's a great actress. I haven't seen her much besides Stranger Things, but I think she kills it in that show.
Yeah. I like your pick for Storm. So, you want to say who it is?
I mean, who was the OG Storm?
Halle Berry, of course.
So how about we get Hal Bailey in it, the actress who played Little Mermaid? I know they're not related. I know
You're
they
such a
have no.
cheesy dude.
It's just it'd be funny as hell. It'd be funny as hell. And I think Hal Berry would be I think she'd be over the top. 'Cause I think I remember her saying that she does love the character a lot. So I think she would love the just the tongue in cheek reference to her if Halle Bailey becomes. I think she was great in Little Mermaid. The movie itself, I didn't care for all that much, but I think she was a great portrayal of Ariel. And I think she can. She's still a newer coming actress, but I think with the backing of the list I have, I think they can definitely help support her into a more bigger, powerful actress. And
Hmm.
Storm, you need to have a big, powerful appearance. I think she can nail it.
For sure. So mine is a little bit outside the box again. So it's Shaniqua Martin Green, and for people who don't know her, she played Sasha in Walking Dead, and she played such a strong, intimidating woman. And I'm like, yes, that's Storm right there. So that's
No,
my pick for
she
Storm.
is that like that. I didn't even think about that when I saw your list. I was like, oh shoot, that is brilliant. Because you're right. When she played Sasha, she was so fucking good in that show.
Yeah.
I think she's a great actress. I think you might have the better pick personally. I think she can own herself better than Halle Berry can right now, or Bailey. But I like your pick a lot. It's a good pick.
Yeah, I like my Beast pick as well.
Yeah,
So
your Beast pick was really good.
yeah, so AK got me watching Bear, and when I started watching it, I'm like, oh shit, um, Jeremy Allen White is such a good actor. I was like, I want to see him on
Yes.
MCU. And then we're going through this list, and I'm like, Beast. Like he makes such a good Beast. Like the people who've not watched Bear, um, in there, Jeremy Allen White plays a character who's going through so much mental and physical and just like complexity, and the way he portrays it is just brilliant. So I could really see that in Beast.
Yeah, see, I was having an issue picking someone for Beast because Beast, just like the Hulk, he is a scientist slash obviously a big freaking monster as a mutation due to him trying to stop his mutation. So I was trying to find someone who could be both a big gruely beast and then also a smart ass scientist, and I couldn't find anyone. That was tough, and I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it on the head. I think Jeremy Allen Wright would be fantastic as the Beast. I didn't pick anyone unfortunately, so I'm gonna go with your pick. I'm gonna piggyback off of you,
So I like your Mystique pick. Sorry, she's a good one.
Mystique. Yeah, I think both
Yeah.
of us have pretty good picks for it. I think we both were looking at the same. We both had the same criteria when picking Mystique. What was your criteria? I just want to make sure we had the same page.
Okay, so I needed someone who would be able to support Magneto because I'm thinking that he's going to be more politically inclined in this version of X Men I'm creating in my
Hmm.
head. And I was like, okay, who can be kind of sultry, funny, but also strong when she needs to be? And I thought Kiki Palmer. I was
Hmm.
like, in Nope, she did such a great job, and whenever I see her acting, she has such a good range. She can be playful, she can be flirtatious, but she can also be a strong woman. And I was like, yes.
Yes.
For me, I was like, yeah, that fits Mystique really well.
Yeah, I think you and I had the same mindset. Someone who's flirtatious but powerful. Someone who can be serious in a like flip of a dime. She can be serious to charis like like flirtatious, flirty, charismatic. And I picked Anna de Armas. She was great in the few moments she had in the newest Bond movie, so I could see her in
Yeah,
that like intense like fighting role.
she
And
was a
then also,
badass in that.
yeah, and then you also have movies that she's been. Can't think of the names on top of my head, but she was in that movie with Chris Edwards a couple years ago on Netflix. Chris Evans, not Chris Evans, Captain
Oh,
America. But sorry, I can't think of what movie that was. But she also had that flirtatious and that
yeah,
like
yeah.
charisma. So I think Anna de Armas that would be my pick for Mystique. But I think either one of them you can't go wrong with. I think both of them demands that like respect and fear, but also that charisma and like that flirtatious that you mentioned. So I think both of them would be brilliant.
Awesome, dude. Any other last thoughts that you got?
No, I mean I know the X Men is a whole wide cast. I mean we're still missing a whole bunch of different X Men that we could potentially talk about, but I think for these six that we have, I think for the most part seven. I think we did a pretty good job. I like both of our lists. I think either one of these would be brilliant for the MCU.
Couldn't agree more. And just a quick little note before we sign off. We noticed a little uptick in our subscribers, so we really appreciate that. Keep subscribing and liking. It helps more than you think. And
Definitely. And I
yeah,
mentioned it in the
lastly,
last.
just sorry, go ahead.
No, no, you go. You go. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just like, lastly, keep supporting us. If you think my list is better, definitely like and comment. If you think AK's is better, just sign off. Just don't worry about it. Yeah,
Wow.
just don't
How about
say
this?
anything.
How about this? Like if you like AK's list better, and then comment if you like Jay's better. Don't tune off. And I did mention the last video I posted for the X Men 97. We do have a goal 50 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we can do it. So please like, subscribe, and comment and share with your friends.
Peace.
Peace.